We have audio now. Sick of these audio troubles. Dina likes the light.
I told you there was no audio.
We're having the traditional audio. So, yes, James, unfortunately, it is becoming the traditional audio issues. The audio quality is better now. However, for some reason, every time I close out of OBS, it deselects the audio source for the DJI mics, which is kind of weird.
It's probably because when you start it back up, the mic isn't plugged in when you start it up.
That's possible. That's possible. Well, so I'm sorry you guys had to miss out on all the profound things that I had to say to start the show, but those secrets are the kind of things that you're only allowed to say once, or else you get in trouble. So,
and boy, were they profound.
Deep. We're talking Marianas Trench levels of deep. Deanna says she likes the sign. So that was actually his idea. That was, is that your first AMS print?
I think that was my first AMS print, yeah.
Yeah. Let's come in a little bit tighter on that. Show your sign off. Show off your handiwork.
So, due to relentless bullying from chat, last week, on Saturday, I drove down to Micro Center and bought another P1S and an AMS because you guys are bullies. And then Rem taught me how to, well, make this as an STL. Actually, I think it was a 3MF file, but anyways.
That's irrelevant.
Rem taught me how to make this, and this was the first thing that I printed with the AMS. And it was cool.
It was also the very second thing that he actually designed in Fusion 360. This one, you got more of it without me telling you what to do.
Did we do that in Fusion?
That one, yeah.
Oh, okay. How about that?
Yeah. It's starting. I told you.
What's happening?
Well, James would like to have a word with you.
James? You and me's gonna meet on the playground at 3:30 and we's gonna fight. For sure.
Dude, he hasn't even done a 4-color print yet. He doesn't need more than 4. He hasn't even done 4 yet.
I don't even have a clue of what to do as a 4-color print.
I don't know, this was 3.
Honestly, the thing that I expect that to be most useful for is some of the Mario stuff I want to do. Like the Koopa shells.
Yeah.
Those, because of the way they're shaped and the way you'd have to print them, I don't see any way you could do those as like a single color change at layer. So those have to be whatever color you're doing plus white, and there's going to be a lot of color changes. There's going to be a lot of waste on that print, but I think it's going to look really cool when I'm done.
That's us bullying never. Calyx, you haven't even been here to bully him for the last like month's worth of streams, dude. We've streamed every Friday for the last 5-6 weeks now, and Calyx
Like
hasn't
that.
been here to bully you not once.
It's alright, he bullies me when he sees me in real life.
Bullies me when he sees me in real life.
You deserve it.
What did I do?
You let me get bullied by Chad into buying 2 bamboo machines in less than 1 month.
I've contributed.
Yeah, that's rude.
No, it's not. I got a P1S out of the deal. Hey guys, by the way, I have a P1S now, so now I can print all the fun multicolor stuff. ABS stuff. I haven't bought the AMS yet. It's been a long day, guys. Real long day. Wow. So, some quick life update stuff. We talked about a month and a half ago about the journey to drink more water, and that water is important. And I will have you guys know that in the last 3 weeks, I have only had 1 Mountain Dew, and it took me 2 days to drink it. And it was not good. So I'm pretty sure I'm just kind of done with that now. Regular colas haven't been too terribly brutal. Calyx, it's Beau. I don't know where you got that O from. Appreciate the effort. I've seen your name spelled some ways. Calyx might take the cake on that one.
My favorite are the pronunciations.
Biwa.
Like when Nate's wife said, "What's a biwa?"
Yeah, just your husband's best friend. Let's see. I mean, that's kind of it. We bullied Beau into buying a new bamboo. We're about halfway through filming the review video for that one, and I think you guys are going to be really surprised because the P1S review is going to be a very different video. There's going to be a really different kind of twist, and I don't think we should spoil the surprise till the video comes out, right?
I'm not even sure what the surprise is.
Well, we're changing the way it's filmed.
Oh, okay. We're changing the way it's filmed.
Do you remember now?
I remember, don't worry.
It's very hard. Beau, man.
That's me.
Cameraman Beau.
Ambiwa.
It's also in the description for the video. You're probably watching on mobile though, so it's probably not super easy to see. So we have a couple of things to do tonight other than just talk about life. These prints are super awesome. So this is some stuff that Homie G here has been knocking out on the old P1S.
When I went to Micro Center to buy the second P1S, I found, I don't know how well this is going to come across from here, but this is a, what do they call this? A triple extrusion?
Tri-extrusion.
Tri-extrusion. I was close.
Yeah.
It is red, gold, and green.
Oh, I know. I have the answer to this problem.
And it's really cool looking.
The answer to this problem's in my pocket. Actually, it's on the table from my attempted camera magic. This is gonna have to go this way. Look at this. I watch on TV. I watch on TV, tall on phone. Talk on phone. Oh, okay. I was deeply concerned for what I was trying to understand there, dude. Oh yeah. This should show you guys just how awesome this filament is. So we got some pinks. We got some greens. There's some gold in there, right? It's like pink, green, gold.
It's, yeah. Mm-hmm.
And these dragon files they're always so fun to print. All the points of articulation just turn out fantastic once you have a machine that's really dialed in.
Have you seen the ads like crazy for these on the TikTok?
Yes,
shop?
dude. It's insane right now. Everybody is selling these dragons and they're putting them in eggs. Deanna, did we say, is it Deanna or is it Dina? You have never corrected us, and now I'm a little self-conscious that we've been pronouncing your name wrong.
How's she gonna tell us?
She can confirm if we've been saying it right.
Fair enough.
Hell, your nap was long enough.
Is it data or data?
Data. I like how you said it the same way both times.
Yeah, but you knew I meant something different.
And I'm mad that I did. Honestly, Calyx, that was what I was just poking at you because James says data. Dina, like, here we go. This is gonna be. So, is it Dina? Because I don't want to be wrong, and if that's the case, I feel really bad because it's been several months we've been saying your name wrong.
We're sorry.
A
That's embarrassing.
little bit. A little bit. Oh. Let me get this out of the way. I don't know how much this is going to get used today, but now that it's rigged up, it's nice to be handy. So, let's see. We have 4 people hanging out. Goodbye. Dina. Why didn't you yell at us?
Yeah, you should have yelled at us.
You should know that. I know you said it doesn't bother you or you don't get upset about it. Dada? Calyx, is that Dada? Is that what you're saying? Data?
It's Dota.
That's a game. Ah. I kind of wish you just. I kind of wish you would have corrected us sooner, because we would have put forth the effort to be better. I'm sorry.
In my defense, I mostly don't actually read your name. I see the first letters and my brain puts the rest together, and I've just been listening to how he pronounces it. So your fault.
Why are you? Wow. Assigning
Bust
blame.
me, you under it.
Wow. You realize that I can make them convince you to do anything.
But you can't.
I got $1,600 worth of printers that prove otherwise.
1,600 printers.
Someday. Wouldn't that be magic? Imagine that electric bill. 1,600 printers.
Imagine the parts we could print farm.
What would we make?
Apparently something to sell on the TikTok shop.
Bro. These people are making a killing. Not that I'm just telling you what to do, it's that I can convince you guys to bully him easily. And he gives in to peer pressure. Like no other.
I most certainly do not.
That printer is named peer pressure.
It is not. I've never given into peer pressure in my life.
Let's see, bamboo number 1, AMS, bamboo number 2. I can think of several knives.
My PC.
Definitely the PC. That one took us a while. That one took a while. I've been trying to convince you to build a PC for a long time.
Nick's been trying to convince me to build a PC since like 2010.
With enough pressure, even a rough stone can become a diamond.
I feel attacked.
She said they've noticed. You do give into peer pressure awfully easy.
I feel attacked.
Because you were homeschooled.
It might be, and I feel attacked.
Did you not have to go through DARE?
Nope.
That explains it. That explains it. A good PC, you will learn CAD. James, he has been learning some CAD. He's been playing around a little bit in Fusion. Not a lot of it, just a touch. But he has been, and going pretty well. I kind of want to do a challenge to myself. I watched a video today. I don't know if any of you guys have ever seen the channel on YouTube, NerdForge. They're a really cool maker channel. And I watched a video from them this morning where the guy was drawing for 100 hours. No, not consecutively. But they put in a game plan for him to draw for 100 hours. And they did a benchmark where he had to draw 4 objects as a before. A coffee mug, a donut, a house, and a book on a table. And then after 100 hours, he had to redraw the same items. And it was astonishing at how far along his art came in the 100 hours he put in. I think it'd be really fun to do a challenge like that with Fusion 360. Not necessarily 100 hours specifically, but maybe like I try to make myself design a model a day for 2 months and just see how much better my CAD skills become.
I feel like probably a lot is the answer.
Yeah, I don't use Fusion nearly as readily as I should for stuff. I would say that I'm a high-level beginner with CAD. Definitely not even intermediate.
I'm a low-level noob.
You're starting. You're starting. You're still in the tutorial island.
I'm very excited for Nate's upcoming project.
Yeah.
That's gonna be awesome.
That will be cool. Yeah, James, something like that. That was based off of a book, right? So the 3D Print in General did a video mid last year where he learned Fusion 360. I think he bought a book on Amazon to follow coursework. Cookie cutters are fun to make. They're a good thing to learn. Calix would like to think that he's intermediate. Cookie cutters?
Custom cookie cutters that can just be 3D printed. We're gonna make cookies this Christmas. And we're gonna make the most ridiculous cookies.
Okay.
We're gonna make 3D printer themed cookies.
I'm in. Ooh. Imagine the spool.
I think I already have a cookie cutter for that. Some people just call it a circle.
Oh no, you have to have the indents, man. Yeah, the little indents, because those will come through once the cookie bakes.
Do we know anybody artistic enough to frost them in like colors to make them look legit?
I feel like Shannon.
I bet Shannon could do that.
I bet does Shannon decorate cakes? Is that a Shannon thing? Do we have a cake decorator friend?
My mother does that. I wonder if she'd do that.
If you ask your mother to do anything nicely, she would do anything in the world for you. Your mother, if you ask her nicely, would do anything in the world for anybody because she is the nicest person.
Between the two of them, we could probably get some pretty cool decorated cookies. You're gonna have to teach me how to do that.
Let's see. James says his wife sells custom small batch cookies. Like, what kind of cookies, James? The sunflower. Okay, let me see here. Let me pull up our Discord messages. Adina made that.
Is that a drawing? What am I looking at?
That's a print, it looks like.
That's dope.
Decorative sugar cookies? And I showed you that one the other day. We have a place near us that is absolutely famous locally for their cutout sugar cookies. And it's the kind of thing that when anybody who moves away from here comes back to visit, they have to stop and get a dozen. I don't know if it's really that they're that great or if it's just that it's a local thing. Their icing is definitely great.
It's that it's a local thing.
They're good though. I enjoy them every time I get them. Being said, we have Crumble now, and by the way, we need to go to Crumble tomorrow.
That has shockingly not been nearly as much of a problem for me as I thought it was going to be when it opened.
I haven't been in like 2.5 weeks. I expected by this time, I mean, they've been open since right around Christmas. I expected by this time to be like 800 pounds and not be able to leave the house.
I expected to be financially destitute because they're not cheap.
No. But they have blueberry cheesecake this week.
I saw that.
And also Oreo milkshake and cookie butter. And at the very least, I have got to get my hands on one of those blueberry cheesecakes because I am a sucker for all things cheesecake. Cool, James, I will check that out. So, see, we've talked about pastries, bullying you into buying things.
Rude.
Nah, it's fine. I don't see a problem with it. I got over it, you will. You guys want to see the cool thing that FixDry sent us? Because I'm really excited to get this thing open. So, the K1C video has been performing very well, especially in comparison to some other more recent videos that we've done. And we have gotten a fair bit of attention from it. And one of the companies that has given us some attention is FixDry.
Yay!
Woo!
We need a button that makes the cheering yay sound.
I agree. We need the, I need to learn how to do sound effects. That's next. I can't promise it'll be next week, but it's going to be next. Well, Calyx, I'm sorry that you're good, but I'm going to unbox this thing because I'm excited.
That's rude, Calyx. But I appreciate it, so keep doing it.
You've met him? All right, so this dryer has not yet been out of the box, although it looks like somebody had their way with this box. Yeah, it has been. We got a hole gouged right here. There's a hole right here. This corner. This thing was absolutely just brutalated in shipping. This is honestly...
My company shipped that?
It's possible. I've heard the stories of your company shipping things. You know, I've had some boxes get dinged up in shipping, and this is not in any way, shape, or form a criticism on FixDry. Their box just got brutalated in transit.
Yeah, there's nothing wrong with that box other than somebody jacked it up. Also, before we get all the way in here, I think this is actually really good packaging. Like, I mean, it's a box, right? It's not super fancy, but this is the kind of packaging I think you could have on a shelf in a store. As 3D printers are... And, oh, for sure. That doesn't look like a shipping box. It looks like a product box.
Yeah. Oh, I gotta unzoom. Yeah, I think this is something that would, like... Especially with the, like, splash of dark teal on here, I think this is something that would catch eyes in, like, a Micro Center type store or a 3D printing store.
I mean, to be fair, the boxes that the bamboos are in Micro Center are the exact same ones they shipped one to my door in.
Yeah, that's fair. But I think something like this would actually kind of grab your eye and looks presentable. So, you know, just normal box. I made sure to take all the shipping stuff off of this. It was just shipped in like a bag, not like a bubble mailer or anything. But I did want to make sure that
Just a Walmart bag?
Yeah. Yeah, it was shipped in that. Oh. It's like a dark gray plastic envelope situation.
A Walmart bag.
No.
They're dark gray and plastic. Wish you'd make up your mind. You gonna kill me.
So, you know, just your standard foam in here. I'm sure this would slide out easier if it had not been, like, brutalated by the carrier. This was shipped DHL.
Here, you grab the thing, I'll grab the thing.
Teamwork. So this is...
I hope you were done with that.
For the moment, yeah, I guess. So this model is the NT3. I spooked you, dog. I believe it's the NT3. So my interpretation of that is because this is the version of their dryer that has a knob on it for adjustment, for your temperature adjustment. I think that's where the NT comes from. I could be way off base with that. Potential headphone warning? Question mark? Yeah. So, nothing to really put together here. It'll hold a singular spool. Little adjustment knob up front. Does it have a hygrometer? Is that reading the humidity? Sure is. Bring you guys in on that. So, James says every time he gets a package shipped DHL, it goes missing. I've only had like 3 total experiences with DHL, and every single
Front of that is very shiny.
I can see that. Wow.
So apologies for shining a light in your face.
Sorry, dark mode users. So I've only ever had like 3 experiences with DHL, and all been pretty decent. I wouldn't say that they've been an extraordinary shipping service for me, but a lot better than some of the other carriers. They'll actually drop a package at my front door, which is uncommon. That's why I don't get packages shipped to my house anymore. Oh, okay. So this is a single spool dryer, and there's an outlet right here on the side with a rubber grommet through it, and one right over here on the side. Little dome just kind of pops off and hangs out like a visor. Oh, it's magnetic. That's
dope.
Can I just do this and it's...
Okay, so that's pretty good right there.
I don't know if this is intended to be this way, but I'm intending it to be this way because it means I don't have to set this thing off somewhere else.
It's a feature.
It is now. If it wasn't before, it is now. Hire me. So this isn't paid or anything. They just asked if I wanted them, or if I wanted to check out the dryer, and
So that, is that powered? Do you know?
I don't believe it is. We'll check in the instructions here in a second.
Perfect.
They did ask if I would do a review video. I don't know how exactly the best way to review a filament dehydrator is, because it's such a hard thing. Like, we don't live in a very humid environment, so we would need a material like nylon, something that we could repeatedly test easily.
We could create a humid environment.
Yeah, that's fair. That wouldn't be overly difficult.
It would have to be summertime, but we could do that.
Yeah. We could try it. That'd be kind of fun to try for a video.
Build a large enclosure outside and put a bowl of water in it.
Black trash bag. Yeah. I mean, I will say, I'm fairly confident that the hygrometer is working because it's reading about 40% now. It's gone up 7% since it's come out of the box. So it was definitely a drier environment inside of there than the air is. So there's like little, let me slide this out of the way so I don't drop it. There's like little rollers down inside of there for your spool to ride on. What do you,
Am Cyclops.
Cyclops? Okay. I was kind of thinking RoboCop. So there's little rollers in the bottom that you can put your spool of filament in. This is definitely not going to accommodate a 3 kilo spool by any stretch of the imagination. I do like right here on the front. I'm not sure how easy you guys are going to be able to pick this up. We may have to switch to phone view. Let's see how it looks here for you guys. Yeah, hang on. We're going to switch to phone view so I can show you guys this.
That's nice.
Well, especially with the design of that one, how simple it is. Like, there's absolutely nothing complicated going on the front. Okay, Alright, let's go ahead and position that, please.
I'm knocking things over. Don't mind me, y'all.
Oh, that's perfect, actually. Okay, so right down here, they're showing us their temperature recommendations. Here's the hygrometer, and here is the knob that we use to adjust the temperature. So there's not a time recommendation or anything on the outside, but it does tell us what temperatures to print at or dry at, which is really handy. It's like having a cheat sheet built into the front. And I really like that. While we're here, here are what the little grommets look like. And they did include a piece of PTFE tube, which is really nice. I've not had a filament dehydrator do this yet. That you can feed filament straight through. So the filament never has to, from this unit, get exposed to the air. Really like that feature. Not exactly a flush cut, but that's an easy enough fix. Down here, see if you guys can see that. Might be a little dark. Oh no, that's awesome. So those are little rollers that the filament's going to ride on. I don't think this is motorized like the iBose one is. I'm not 100% sure. If I'm being honest, I have not done a lot of in-depth looking into it. But back here, we do have a fan, which is nice. A lot of early filament dehydrators did not have fans. So they would heat up inside, and the moisture would just get trapped. So basically, they were just turning the filament dehydrator into a humid environment, like a reptile tank or something.
That's what you want, really.
It really is, yeah. It's at 37 isn't that low. I don't know what a low humidity is. I just don't feel like it's that humid inside, but that might be because it gets to like 80, 90% humidity outside in the summer. So this feels low to me.
Yeah, we live in a humid environment in the summertime.
Outdoor is swamp. It's unbearable sometimes. You know what Midwesterners say? It's the humidity that gets you. I'm Midwesterners.
It's me. I'm Midwesterners.
It's me. I'm the problem. See how a spool... Oh, good thing I had that closed. See how a spool looks on this.
It looks like that.
It just nestles in all neat like. I guess I didn't have to get up. Let's see. Safety, safety, safety.
Nobody cares about safety.
Okay, so they do give you inside of here, they do give you a temperature and time range. So if you're prone to losing instruction manuals, which this is not a very thick one. In fact, there's only like 5 pages that are in English.
I'm gonna be honest, I would rip that one page out and stick it on the fridge with a magnet.
I would just take a picture of it.
I take too many pictures, it would take me forever to dig through them to find it.
Eh, that's fair. Don't use a cardboard spool for testing. I could see why that would be a problem. I could see where that would become problematic. Okay, so one small grievance that and this is a silly thing. However, these instructions were inside of a bag, which was inside of the dehydrator. And they show you instructions how to take the lid off. So I suppose you can't figure out how to just grab from the back here and pull that off. You'll never get to learn how to do that. Unless you watch this video. That just feels handy. Like, I don't think that that was intended, but that is definitely a way that I will use this product.
It's a feature.
It is a feature. But what's really cool about these dehydrators is being able to actually print. So for a material like nylon or something like that, so for a material like nylon or something where you need to be drying while actively printing, this is super awesome.
How many spools of New Maker's Black are in this house right now?
Several. Why?
I was confused as why.
As to where you got a partial spool?
Yeah, I didn't know where that came from.
Well, you just picked it up from there.
Yeah, I didn't know that's what was up there.
Well, we only ordered...
I'm curious to know how long it's been up there.
Well, we ordered 6... Oh, the dog found the jelly bean that I dropped earlier. He likes jelly beans. Ooh, it's a little brittle, so this is actually a perfect candidate for some dehydrating. Do you have the book is putting it... You have the book is putting it on the back in there. I don't... Are you asking if the book shows us hanging it off the back here?
I think that's the question, yes.
If that is the question, the answer is no. We invented this. This is an original thought.
Our pioneers.
Yes. So it's really easy to just plug the grommet with the PTFE tube. And realistically, the other side, you could print a little plug to put in there. But I can't imagine you're going to get that much moisture ingress once it's dry. That's a huge concern.
No.
It's a really small inlet. So for stuff like this, usually I like to go under instead of over with the filament. And I think that's what we're going to try.
Why are we feeding it right now?
Curiosity.
Oh, okay. Just to see if it works.
Testing, for testing purposes.
For testing purposes.
Yeah. Okay, so if you're going to push filament through, definitely do that before the spool is all the way in. Because it's pretty tight in terms of hand fit in there. So if you live in a super humid environment or have a filament that is really moisture prone, being able to easily print directly from this box is a super convenient thing. Because you can feed this, so there's a few ways you could go about it. There are some really awesome prints for joining several lengths of PTFE tube together. Like there's some quick disconnect ones with magnets. So you could actually put PTFE here and a piece with a magnet here and just plug them together so they're really easy to connect. Or you could just go straight out of here or straight out of the enclosure. I would probably at least have a small length of PTFE tube in here.
Yeah, I wouldn't want to run it through this rubber grommet.
Nah, you would chew through the grommet pretty quick. One thing that I would suggest is probably getting a larger inner diameter PTFE tube. There's a fair amount of resistance on this. And if you do it like the Voron style PTFE tubes are a lot thicker, or I'm sorry, they have a lot wider opening on the inside to reduce filament drag. You might want to go with something like that. Do you have a plug available over in your neck of the woods?
Not unless you want to be offline.
I do not want to be offline. Power strip?
I think that thing's mostly...
You hang out there. I think I only have two things plugged into it. Yep. Sorry if I bumped the camera, guys.
And the light.
Sorry if I bumped everything, guys. No, I don't need your help. Get out of my face.
Good heavens.
I've caused a disaster. I didn't even realize I was bumping light. Did anything break?
No, but the filament dryer's on.
Good, it worked.
Oh, heavens.
I saw those jelly beans, and I thought for sure glass broke. Oh, jeez. The dog is just carefully watching, hoping a jelly bean hits the floor.
Yeah, so Rem's destroying my house.
I've caused...
And also the set.
I've inadvertently caused chaos. It's all better now. But the dog just tried to pull my laptop and energy drink down.
PLA, so 150.
Wow, that was...
I suppose the test is we'll see if the humidity drops as we're doing this.
That's it. It's that easy. You don't have to put it together. You just put filament in, turn the knob, and hit the power switch. And destroy everything in the process.
In our case, not even hit the power switch. It was already turned on.
Showbiz.
That new appliance heating up for the first time smell.
Buddy, this smells like new hairdryer. Which is a terrifying smell.
Annoyingly, my oven smelled like that for like the first, I don't know, 10 times I used it.
It smelled like that earlier when I made taquitos.
Not that strong.
Yeah, that's fair.
Now it just smells like heating element, which, you know,
Oven.
it's an oven, so that's what it's supposed to smell like.
This oven smells like oven. Speaking of, so I think we showed you guys this partially assembled, but I'm gonna move this out of the way for a second. So can confirm it is not motorized like the iBose one is, which that's okay, I think. I don't know a lot about filament dehydrators. I don't pretend to be an expert in that field. In fact, there are very few fields that I would consider myself to be an expert in.
The one next to my parents' house, I've been hanging out in that field since I was a wee lad. I'm gonna get striked.
Wow, that was bad even for you.
I'm funny.
Here's something. So, one of the very first things that Beau printed with his first P1S was this mason jar candy dispenser. And I just happened to have a bag of Starburst jelly beans in my shoe the other day, so I put jelly beans in it. The bag was sealed. I assure you that. A little bit small, a little bit tight of a reach if you have big hands. I don't even have that big of hands, but still kind of a tight fit, and I have dropped a lot of jelly beans on the floor, and that's how we learned that the dog likes jelly beans.
My elbow is wet. Thanks for that.
At least the sensitive electronics are all on this half of the table. Sorry, dude. James said, how has he not heard that bad of a joke before? Because you haven't hung out with him long enough.
Tis true.
Oh, I'm gonna die. I almost choked on that jelly bean. Would you like me to get you a paper towel?
No, I'm fine. Me and Nate were talking about our favorite Star Wars characters earlier today.
Okay.
And you know how his is Darth Vader, right?
Uh-huh.
I told him mine's Darth Hogan. He is your father, brother. He got mad at me.
What's really funny is that Vader was also a wrestler in the 80s and 90s. Much like Hogan. Get out of here, I'm not giving you jelly beans. Once your dog finds a treat he likes, he is a fiend.
Yeah.
I kind of wish I hadn't introduced him to those, because those are the best jelly beans. I need to grab another couple bags of those before we finish filming the video, because I think it would be much more impressive full. And also, I really like these jelly beans.
It would also make a way bigger mess the next time you knock the light over on it.
I would like to say there won't be a next time.
But that'd be a lie.
There is definitely going to be a next time. This thing is... That thing still is smelling funky.
We've been filming in my house for like, what, 4 months? Maybe 5?
Since the fire. So,
and
when did it start getting real cold?
We've had that light get knocked over at least 3 or 4 times already. There will be a next time.
It's not my fault that I used the sandbag budget for jelly beans.
Props to Cold War, though, because we've knocked their light over a bunch of times and it still works.
Well, you know, I'm gonna like 60% blame the fact that
the stand that it's on is jank.
Yeah, I just can't bring myself to spend money on light stands. They're so expensive. I feel like a good light stand would actually cost more money than I spent on that light and softbox.
No, you can get okay-ish light stands for like $30.
Well, we got 4 light stands, 2 backdrops, 4 different lights for $100.
The backdrop thing.
Yeah, the whole mount.
All of those bulbs. Yeah, so those are probably $5 light stands. I'll bet you could get a couple of $30 light stands and they'd be fantastic.
They work great for $5 light stands.
As long as nobody touches it.
Knock the light over and spill some jelly beans and suddenly you're the bad guy. James said print one. You know, I've thought about not necessarily printing the whole light stand, but I have had some ideas. I've thought about once we're able to move most of the production back to the shed, I've thought about maybe trying to mount the lights from the ceiling. So that way I cannot knock them over. It would be...
Don't say what you're about to say.
What? That it would be almost impossible to knock them over if they're mounted?
You were gonna say impossible, and I've met you. It wouldn't be impossible.
I'm not that clumsy. Okay. I'm that clumsy. This thing still smells like electronics. Oh, it's warm now. I wonder if we could cook something in here.
What's the humidity at?
35.
So that's down a couple. Granted, it's only been in there for like 5 minutes, so...
Don't recommend that. It smells like hot plastic. Do not sniff your filament dehydrator. It is exhausting heat. Like, it does feel warm up here. It's really warm right here where that magnet is.
Warning, high temp.
Yeah, I would say medium temp.
But it's only running at 50°, so realistically that's not even that warm.
Now the spool is fairly warm on the backside, so that's all the heat is going to be focused right here. I would definitely not put a PLA printed spool inside of this. If you print your own spools, definitely would not put one made of PLA in there. I feel like you would deform it real quick.
I also feel like this is a... You're going to run a spool for 4 hours, maybe open it up at the 2 hour mark, or even once an hour and spin it around. I mean,
yeah.
I realize you're reintroducing moisture at that point, but at least get it moved around a little bit.
I would like to point out the filament was like that when I found the spool.
It wasn't. That's what happens when Rem touches spools in my house.
It was definitely like that when you put it in there. So yeah, just take your spool out. Like, this is the warm side, and like that is really warm.
That is toasty.
Like, there is definitely a lot of heat coming off of that. Just, yeah, I think your suggestion to take it out at the halfway mark, it's kind of like when you're baking a pizza in the oven and you got to rotate it around about halfway through to make sure that all the edges are crispy. Let's see. Calyx said, what order of filament would you suggest to someone working their way up different types who also have a fully enclosed printer? Well, it's not exactly an easy question to answer.
In this order: red, blue, green, yellow, purple, black, orange.
You had an opportunity to name that off in Pokemon game order, and I'm kind of disappointed in you. So it honestly depends on what you're trying to print. For most of us and most of our needs, PLA heat retention. So for most of us and most of our needs,
Infinite heating loop.
big brain. We just scienced this thing. Anyway, for most of us and our printing needs, PLA is beyond sufficient. PLA is actually an incredibly strong filament. And so not the next video. The video that we're working on right now is the P1S review. The video following that, we're actually making some shelves. So I'm really excited for that. You guys are going to get to see a combination of 3D printing and some very low grade woodworking, but it's going to be pretty cool.
Woodworking. We're going to cut some boards off with a saw.
I said low grade. I didn't say there was any joinery involved. And I printed the shelf brackets out of PLA.
And then some high grade spray painting.
Are we spray painting? Is that what we decided on?
Be the easiest.
That's true. I'll have to print some more of those little triangle stands to lift it up off of the workbench so airflow can go underneath. Nice for finishing and letting paint dry.
I was going to do that outside since, you know, my bike's in the garage.
Good point, good point. Anyway, yeah, PLA. So let me gather my thoughts and move this out of the way for a moment. So if you want to work your way up the filament ladder and you have a fully enclosed printer, most of your 3D printing needs and wants are honestly going to be accomplished by PLA, which does not require an enclosure and does not benefit from one in any meaningful way unless you're printing in Antarctica. If from there, it depends entirely on what you're making and what your specific purpose is. I think that if you have a fully enclosed printer, you would do really well to have at least one spool of ABS or ASA on hand. If you want to print things that are going to be going outside, definitely ASA. It's more UV resistant than ABS is.
Or in a higher temp environment.
Yep, ASA is going to have a slight edge over ABS, which both of them are going to blow PLA out of the water. Being said,
if you're going to print stuff and put it in your car, ABS and ASA is the way to go for that.
PETG is another fantastic option there, and I have recently found, so PETG prints really well open air, which is why so many people preferred it to ABS for such a long time. I have found that PETG does amazing in an enclosure. It prints really, really well enclosed.
Fully enclosed?
Mm-hmm, fully enclosed.
Do you have your part cooling fan on or off?
I did use part cooling.
Auxiliary fan?
Never. Not on PETG.
Okay.
PETG is, in terms of warping and ease of printing, PETG is right in the middle, in my opinion, between ABS and PLA.
Gotcha.
It's going to be a lot easier to print than ABS. The issue is PETG is sticky. So you have to take precautions with your build plate. You have to think about the fact that it wants to cling to your nozzle really bad. So you'll actually get more boogers from filament because it wants to stick to everything, which is part of what gives it such great layer adhesion. And it's going to be a little bit more elastic than PLA, so it's going to have some more flexibility. Decent UV resistance. But Calyx, it really just depends on what you're trying to make, man. I think that everybody should have... I think everybody should have a bunch of spools of PLA, a single spool of TPU, a single spool of PETG, and then if you have an enclosure, some ABS or ASA on hand, because there's going to be situations that call for each of those materials, and I find it worthwhile to have material on hand, even if it's not necessarily the color that you want it to be. It's better to have it on hand than have to wait a couple of days and slow down your project because you don't have the material on hand.
Oh, and at least 3 spools of polycarbonate. Everybody needs that.
Yeah, everybody needs polycarb.
Yes, correct.
What would you print polycarb? What would you print in polycarb, Beau?
I would print it in that printer.
PETG is good filament, James. It just is kind of sticky.
I'm gonna get striked.
PETG is awesome, especially if you go for carbon fiber PETG. And if you're gonna have a spool of PETG on hand, I would probably suggest making it carbon fiber PETG so you get the extra stiffness. I would say that carbon fiber PETG is kind of like PLA on steroids because it's going to be super stiff, great surface finishes, and you can leave it in your car without fear. You guys remember from the K1C review, the Gridfinity box that I made out of carbon fiber PETG? That's just been chilling in my car, and we've had a couple days in the last couple of weeks that have hit 70 degrees. And that means that it was a lot hotter in my car, and the thing is still looking as mediocre as the day it came off the printer. I'll put it this way, the temperature has not deformed it at all. And last summer it got hot enough in the shed to deform some PLA parts. Where would I recommend one gets those from? Polymaker, New Makers, or Bamboo? Well, that's entirely up to you, man. That's the cool thing. So I love Polymaker. I love New Makers. I've had very limited interactions with Bamboo filament, although I do really want to try their new sparkle PLAs. Instead of using glitter, they have these like glass microspheres in them. They're super sparkly. They're really cool. Let me see if I can pull them up and we'll show you guys.
How does that do an explosion test?
7. What do you mean explosion test? Like how strong?
With their nozzles.
That was glitter.
Remember when you exploded a nozzle?
Yes, I remember when I exploded a nozzle.
Man, I wish that could have been on stream.
Me too, but I'm also kind of glad that it wasn't.
Yes.
Yeah, let me show you guys this stuff. It is really cool. Switch over to screen cap. So it's their new Galaxy line. So it is going to be really shiny. Oh, it's also, man, I should have bought a spool yesterday when I was on here. I love this purple. Green is really cool, but this nebulae.
I'm not a huge green guy, but I love that green.
It's like green and gold.
That's dope.
That's a good Christmas color.
Christmas ornaments.
Yes. We haven't told them about that yet, but
We have not told them about that.
I think that should be a secret till we're way closer to Christmas.
It should. Ooh,
So-
scroll down.
Oh, we're getting there.
I want to see the thing.
Well, now you have to wait.
That's
These
rude.
fun little animals. I love this little rhino. I need to print that guy. Here we go. So here is where this filament shines. Legitimately, that was not a pun. I mean, it was a pun, but I didn't want it to be.
I'm glad it was.
So, oh, that whale is awesome.
I like the chameleon.
He goes on a shelf.
Chameleon on a shelf.
Yeah, you can put him on your shelf.
Why does that cat look
Mad?
so angry? Aggressively angry.
Well, I think that's just a cat thing.
Makes sense.
It's been almost a year since you lived with a cat, so I'll forgive you for not remembering cat facial.
Yeah, my dog's just always happy.
Except when he looks depressed. Yeah. So, I'm super hype about those new filaments. I think that they are gorgeous. James said he's not that impressed. Tina had marble sandstone clog her bamboo twice.
Who asked where they should get
Calyx.
Calyx? Calyx, if you're looking for just your basic PLA colors on the cheap, and you've got the budget to buy some in bulk, get on Newmaker's website, because if you buy 10 or more spools, it works out to, I believe it's $13.99 a spool, and code RTMS at checkout will get you 5% off.
Hey. We do also have affiliate links for Polymaker. I don't have savings for you, but I do have an affiliate link. My go-to filaments are Newmakers and Polymaker at this point. I've been printing a lot more Newmakers than Polymaker just because it's so heavily discounted when you buy a bunch. Like, it feels kind of rough up front buying $200 worth of filament, and I'm not by any stretch of the imagination suggesting that people who don't have the budget to do so do. But we were fortunate enough that several of us were able to go in on a large group order, and that helped ease the pain a lot.
Well, that, and again, once you break it down, you're saving like $7 to $8 a spool over buying it single spool at a time off of Amazon. And I'm just basing that on not even necessarily Polymaker, just in general, the price I see on regular PLA filament. It's like $7 to $8 cheaper per spool if you buy at least 10 from Newmaker.
Yeah, it's actually cheaper to buy 10 spools than it is to buy 9 spools. Also, I'm gonna go grab that candle because normally electronic smells don't bother me, but
that one's pretty rank.
It's pretty noticeable.
Yeah, it doesn't smell great in here.
No, but I do want to see how that continues to go down. So, glad that was empty. I am tripping all over everything.
Rem's trying to destroy my house right now, so that's fun. It's fun for me.
And now we're adding fire to the mix. So, I have a friend who has a soy candle company, and I got some candles from her today. They're Hermana soy candles, and she adds mica powder to the candles, which I think is really cool. So when it melts, it's really shimmery, and I've never seen that before, and I'm a simple creature. I enjoy fire and glitter. So it has this kind of cool pearlescent thing going on. And that one smells like cranberry apple crisp, so it is awesome.
It smells phenomenal.
Yes, a very small amount of time, and the thing is amazing. I'll have to ask her if she's planning on setting up a website, because That would be really cool to help. I mean, it's kind of being a maker, making candles, candle maker, and kind of fits the vibe of the show to plug another maker, so that's pretty cool. Yeah, it's already plugged in, and if I go down there to try to unplug it, Dina, we're gonna have a problem. Guaranteed, I'm gonna destroy something else. So,
It has an off switch.
but I'm curious for the experiment. Woodwick candles are your favorite DIY. I got really interested in candle making for about 15 minutes about 3 months ago, and then really quickly determined that was a bad idea for me because 100% everything I owned would have been covered in candle wax. This is part of why I don't use the resin printer anymore. Something I do want to backtrack to was the comment about the Polymaker marble sandstone clogging the bamboo. What nozzle size were you using? Were you using a 0.4? The reason that I ask is, wow, that's impressive.
Infinite drying loop helped.
It's down to 23% in the filament dehydrator. So it is definitely dropping. So the reason that I ask, and I want to see if Polymaker indicates this on their website, marble filaments are a really interesting thing. The way that a lot of companies achieve marble PLA is they will actually chop up little bits of PETG, which prints at a higher temperature than PLA does, of course. So they'll take and they'll chop up PETG really fine and then extrude it in with the PLA at PLA temperatures. So the little tiny little baby sized chunks will stay visible in the end result finished print. And that's part of why you can feel the texture on them. And I'm not seeing in the description on Polymaker's site about that, whether that is the case for them or not, but that marble sandstone does look awesome. So, my suggestion, and the reason that I asked about nozzle size, whenever you're printing a filled material, it's typically recommended to try a 0.6 millimeter nozzle because of just how small a 0.4 is. And if that's a filament that you enjoy printing and enjoy using, I wouldn't necessarily let the couple of clogs prevent you from enjoying and having success with it. You might just do well to switch to a larger diameter nozzle. The 0.6 is going to allow for more filament to flow through at once, which is also going to reduce the chances of those little chunks blocking up the nozzle. I've actually experienced that firsthand. I wasn't even talking about the explosion, but yeah, I did explode the nozzle. No, I had, what was it? The vanilla bean ice cream from Printed Solid. It's their marble PLA. They called it vanilla bean ice cream because that's what Joel called it, the 3D printing nerd. They rebranded it. And I actually won that on one of his streams, which was pretty cool. I think that was the first time I ever won a filament giveaway. What's really funny is last month I won 2 filament giveaways on Loyal's stream for Polymaker, and it was just fun to win, but let somebody else actually get the filament. It was just fun. The joy is in winning and then giving it to somebody who needs it more than I do. I'm swimming in filament currently. So I would suggest if you want to print filled materials, especially marbles, you'll probably have better success with a 0.6 nozzle than you will a 0.4 nozzle. It should go a long way for preventing those blockages. James says, Polymaker says to use a 0.6 and he ignores them and uses a 0.4. He likes to live dangerously.
Too like to live dangerously.
I mean, a lot of people have success printing filled materials with a 0.4 nozzle. A lot of people have issues with it. It's kind of one of those, it works until it doesn't kind of deals. And then when it doesn't, it is catastrophic. It's a really big segue off of Calyx asking where to buy filament.
Like this segue to our sponsor.
We don't have one. So I think you would be really impressed at how detailed a 0.6 nozzle can go now, especially with the Arachne wall generator. I highly suggest checking out Thomson Latterer's video on that from last year or the year before about 0.6 kind of becoming the new standard nozzle size. Now, in reality, that's not the premise or not the practice. However, you can get a lot more detail out of a 0.6 now than we ever used to be able to. For anybody curious, I'm going to throw 2 videos of Tom's in chat that I really recommend watching specifically for this purpose. Now, it's not that a 0.4 won't do the job. He does a really good job of highlighting how much detail you can get with a 0.6 now. But for really small details, you might not get what you're looking for. But those videos are really good. It's a really good learning opportunity. You found a cream that should kind of match. I'm really excited to see this castle when she's done with it.
Yes. Yes.
It is going to be so cool. And I am here for it. So, let's see here. You printed anything else cool this week that you want to talk about?
I haven't really printed a lot of stuff this week.
I haven't either. I printed that keychain spinner for my keys, which is cool. It's behind Oddish. We haven't really done a show and tell segment yet.
This is that same filament that the dragon is printed out of.
Here you go, babe.
It's a lot easier to see the color changes on this.
We may need to switch the camera angle on that. We'll see though.
Honestly, you can see it pretty well on the main camera there if you just hit the zoom.
Yeah. Oh, that actually does look good there. Yeah. You talk about your cool model. I need to go blow my nose.
So, it's a lot easier to see the color transitions on this wolf. And in typical me fashion, I, for the life of me, could not tell you who the designer of this model was. But I think it's cool, and I printed it at 200%, so it's decently large. I don't think I've actually printed that much stuff this week. Really, the problem is that I need to do a filament order for a couple of Polymaker colors to start printing some Nintendo stuff, because I know which yellow I need, and then if anybody saw the video where the stream where Loyal unboxed and showed off that new Solval printer, he had several Nintendo themed things in that video, and whatever red and green he used I thought were pretty well spot on, and he says which colors they were in the video. So I need to go watch that again and figure out which colors to order, and then figure out a decent blue so I can start doing all my Nintendo stuff.
Yeah, we're getting close to having to make another bulk filament order already.
I'm annoyed about it.
Yeah, but we have someone else who's willing to go in on it with us. Dustin, who you sold the Anchor Make to. I didn't tell you. I peer pressured him into buying a MacBook this week.
Nuh-uh.
I did. I got him to go buy a new MacBook Pro.
That's fantastic.
His old laptop was it was in the same state as Lexi's before it went swimming last year. So it was just dying. Oh, I do want to show you guys real quick while we're on the phone view the shimmeries in this candle. All right, bear with me. I'm going to move the phone and I'm going to try to make you guys not be motion sick. I'm going to go slow. Look, it's like shimmery. I've never seen a candle do that before.
It is pretty cool.
Really professional labeling. I really enjoy these, and I'm going to buy a bunch more candles from my friend because they're awesome. Now let me move the fire far away from me.
I was 100% convinced I was going to get wax on me.
Rude. So, yeah, I was able to convince one of my work buddies to buy a new laptop. But he's wanting to learn CAD and some other things, so just bringing you guys along for the ride. So what kind of projects is everybody working on? Calyx, what are you wanting to get into printing that you're asking about some... I do love making people spend money because it makes me feel better. Don't let him fool you. Everybody in this friend group does the same thing.
It's true.
We all feel better about ourselves by pressuring our friends into spending money.
I was informed today, because I had not realized this up until today, that I'm responsible for basically getting our entire friend group into high-end knives.
High-end doesn't mean more than a $20 knife. So like, a lot of people think, oh, I can go down to Walmart and buy a $20 pocket knife.
Correct. You can go to Walmart and buy a $20 pocket knife.
How much is the baseline knife purchase now because of you?
I don't want to say, I mean, to be considered high-ish end, like, I don't want to say $300.
What was the last daily carry knife that you bought that cost less than $250? Yeah, what I thought. This is your fault. You don't carry
that Blade Runner systems knife.
What was that, 160?
Yeah. I carried that for a while as a daily carry.
You don't even have it anymore.
I do. You're right, I don't.
Nope, you traded it as an 8 and he sold it. Yeah, so we like expensive things as a friend group, all 4 of us. Thanks for that.
You're welcome.
I hope you love your 3D printers.
I was just gonna say, you made me buy in within the span of 1 month 2 Bamboo P1Ss and an AMS.
Yet somehow you only have 1 P1S.
Still have 2 bamboo machines.
You do. You have almost as many as I do. Oh, James, we'll circle back to that in a second, buddy. Calyx says his current project is cleaning and organizing his maker room. Do you have a separate room, or are you turning your bedroom into a workshop? Because every room in my house is a maker room. see, Dina is printing JROTC stuff, robotics. Oh, the modular enclosure, that'll be cool too. There's a lot of cool stuff. I'm trying to find, I want to do more projects and more build videos this year. She says nobody can make you actually or do something you don't truly want to do. You may be right about that, but it sure feels like I'm being forced to spend money on things. James, I understand what you're saying about not having to sit down and constantly sharpen a knife, but you could go the other direction and instead of replacing blades at an expense that I don't know what it is, I have found, especially for most of my tasks, as long as you don't abuse the stuff, if you go to a higher grade steel, then you're not sharpening near as frequently. The inverse side of that is sharpening sucks a lot more.
Yeah, if you buy high-end knife steels, you don't need to sharpen them nearly as often.
Being said, I fully realize that expensive knives are not for everybody. For most people, it's just a tool. For us, it's a collection.
It's just a thing that I don't need but buy anyways.
Like most of the things that I buy.
Correct.
Let's check on the filament. This is a lot warmer than it was the last time I touched it. It's at a 14% inside of here.
That seems pretty good to me.
In a very short amount of time, the humidity has dropped considerably. Oh, everything in here is warm now.
Show is.
Filament's starting to warm up. Interesting. So I would say it's definitely working. Definitely heating. And I mean, that's the whole premise of what a filament dehydrator is. Actually, that's hot. That's not just pretty warm. That is hot. Magnet's pretty warm. And that's the nature of what a filament dehydrator is it is intended to get warm, and then these newer style ones do a much better job of extracting the moist air out of the actual chamber. So instead of all of the humidity being trapped inside, it's actually being pulled out by a fan. And it feels like that one's got a decent amount of airflow. Yeah, EDC stuff is definitely male jewelry.
Correct.
Yeah. I'm not mad about it. We had at work, we had like a 2-hour discussion about wallets the other day.
I don't accessorize with my knives, you do.
Nah. I don't like plan my knife based off of like, I don't treat it like an accessory. I just grab the one that I want to carry that day. Are you planning your knives to your outfits?
That's my I'm going to a wedding or something knife.
Okay, but there's a couple reasons for why that is better for that specific activity. That is a lot less scary than a lot of the other stuff that we own.
Yeah, it's a little less aggressive than some of my other knives.
It's small, it's all titanium, it's good steel. It was a great birthday gift.
It was, thank you for that.
Yeah, you're welcome. And it's just unassuming. And the titanium looks nice.
This is sharp.
It is very sharp. Like, I think that being pokey is kind of a design oversight. I don't necessarily think that that should be pokey like that. But all 4 feet are pokey.
Mm-hmm.
I wonder if it would be as pointy if you printed that larger. Did you scale this down, or was this just the size you downloaded it?
I think I scaled that up some.
Oh. See, I would imagine that by making it larger, it would actually blunt those a little bit. McDundee. That's not a knife.
I've got that's a knife in my backpack right now.
Oh, you mean your little sword?
It most certainly is not a sword.
The chunk of M390?
We're good on printer noise, right?
Yeah,
I'm gonna
we've
go
got
start another one of those. I'll be right back.
yeah, we've got that tuned. Oh, the dragon?
Yes.
You should make it take up the whole print bed.
That's what I was gonna do. I was gonna see exactly how big I could make it.
That's not a knife. That's a knife. There is a solid chance that Australia hates us now. Let's see. So, James, are you working on any fun new toys? Did you finish that that new Makers piece that we were talking about? Do you have pictures of that you can send? That's good. I added half a lime to my water, and it is refreshing. Man, I really wanted to see that. I'm going to have to order some filament. We have not actually started a print yet. It's Pal World's fault. Am I the last person on the planet not playing Pal World?
You need to download it. I started playing it.
Apparently I'm the last person on the planet not playing Pal World. So, I guess I do. I wonder if there's any cool prints for that. And also, if they're being sued by Pokemon yet. I'm kind of curious. Like, I love playing Ark. So, I have to imagine, at least from what I've seen, that Pal World kind of looks like Ark meets eBay Pokemon. Is kind of my interpretation. Okay, I gotcha. I don't have any ongoing projects at the moment. It feels kind of weird. Arc with Pokemon. Okay, yeah. Hull Divers does look like a lot of fun. I never played the first one, but I keep seeing clips of the new one on TikTok, and it looks like it would be very enjoyable. Man, I'm not playing any games currently. I don't have any ongoing projects at all. Like, this is a weird time of year. So like right now it's tournament season for bowling. So whenever I'm not at work trying to sleep or working on content stuff, it has been bowling tournament season, so I haven't had much time to get into any new games recently. And the last week, I've been going to bed really early for some reason. I guess I've just been tired. And like normally I'm a stay up till 1:30 on a work night kind of person. But the last week or so, I've been in bed before 10 every night. It's been really weird. I've just been falling asleep early and then waking up like an hour before my alarm goes off. And on one hand, it's pretty cool to be able to get up a little bit early and like have time to be fully awake before work. On the other hand, I prefer to be awake at night. So I don't know fully what's going on with that. Yes. Oh my gosh, allergy season. Dude, James, it's our winter here in Ohio has been unseasonably warm. And according to my grandmother, the birds are migrating early, and everything feels like all the trees are starting to bud around here. The temperature has just I mean, we've had a couple of 70-degree days already, and it is just now March 8th. So we're either gonna get slapped in the face by winter part 3, or we're in for a really early spring, and my nose is already itchy as a result of it.
I've had a couple of days where I've just sneezed all day.
You hit 90 degrees in the coldest month of the year. That's pretty good, Calyx, for them. More jelly beans for me. That is 4 a.m. is way too early. Like, that's like a couple hours after bedtime. Unless you're this guy.
Yeah, that's a couple hours into my day.
Also, I will fight people on this. The Starburst jelly beans are, bar none, the best jelly beans. $3 a.m.? No thank you, sir. Too rich for my blood.
I plan on being unconscious at 3 a.m. tomorrow.
Same, brother. So, how long is your big dragon gonna take to print?
10 hours, 5 minutes.
Not that bad. I'll be done before you wake up. Good save, although the dog will be mad about it. Nah, man. Jelly bellies are good. However, the Starburst jelly beans are the best.
Mistakes have been made.
Yeah, that is his portal.
Come here.
Come here, Diesel.
Come here. Hi, buddy. Are you kind of a strange puppy?
He's actually chewing them. Hi, buddy. He's so well behaved. These are mine. Those are mine, you fiend. You're so ferocious.
Are you vicious? Are you vicious? Don't lick me in my face.
A just hit print tumbler. Let me see if I can accommodate that request.
I was just gonna say, can the merch company do tumblers? Because I have also thought about tumblers.
I mean, personally, I can do tumblers, but my shipping time is too long. It would take me forever. How big do you want? Looks like we can do a 22-ounce stainless steel. Oh, this one comes with a lid and a straw, and it's 20 ounce. Perfect. They're UV printed. Yeah. Just hit print is what we want. Easy peasy. Ooh. It's mad. Let's see here. Don't love that.
Yeah, it's too wrapped around.
I do love that it comes with a straw, though. Yeah, that's better.
Can I help you?
Let's see. Boom. Dude, I love this merch company because of how easy it is to do this. Boom. Starbursts are the only acceptable option other than Jelly Belly. But the Belly has better flavor options. Buttered popcorn, toasted marshmallow. See,
Nope.
he's after the jar.
You can't get on the table, and you've gotten all the jelly beans you're gonna get.
I've created a monster. You have the only dog in the world that spits out Doritos. I didn't think that he would be obsessed with jelly beans. What are you doing?
He said, "And production assistant."
Yeah. Hi, buddy. I prefer just the fruity flavors, which is why I like the Starburst ones so much.
Stop that. The buttered popcorn jelly beans are amazing.
Do you remember when Meyer used to just have the freestanding Jelly Belly thing in it? You just walk into Meyer and you can just get a bag of whatever flavors individually of Jelly Bellies you wanted. Great concept. That thing was so unsanitary. You know how many kids I saw just stick their hands in there? And kids are the dirtiest animal. Hence why our dear friend is sick all the time. It's because of them kids. Because they're sick all the time. So I'm going to get worse once they go to school, too. The house is going to be a biohazard. You don't like fruity candy? Just savory candy? You're really missing out, man. Because these are way better. And that is not opinion. That is fact. I would legitimately take these year-round if they had them for a year-round purchase. But unfortunately, they do not. And that makes me real sad.
I'm finna just have to buy more of these.
Are we reaching the limitations? Are they choked up inside of there?
I'm not sure what's happening right now. Oh, there it goes.
You know, as much as I enjoy eating microplastics, I'm kind of concerned. Excuse me. The bamboo start noises are aggressive. So I wonder if they were just like... I have no idea what that was.
Okay, bye.
I wonder if this opening... Like, this is a great idea, but I wonder if this opening could be, like, improved in size in some way. Because I feel like the amount of jelly beans that come from this are very inconsistent. You do not get the same amount with each turn.
To be fair, the size of those jelly beans is not that consistent.
Okay, I'll give you that. It'd also be great to put just a mixed variety of Skittles in there.
I was just gonna say we should put some Skittles in it, because those are very uniform in size. And see if the serving size kind of levels out.
I agree. I mean, that's such a fun print. That's something that I don't think I would have ever made.
I just saw it and I was like, I don't know that I'll ever use that. Then I was proven wrong by you. But I'm gonna print one. Hello.
Yes, I agree with that. It definitely. So that model, I will say, one thing that it's missing from a safety and not getting candy everywhere perspective is it would have been really nice if it had threads modeled in it in some capacity to actually retain your mason jar.
Yes, and if I'm being honest, I don't know if maybe that was just something outside of that modeler's scope.
It's very possible.
Ability.
Like this, the overall thing is something that I feel is within the upper limit of something that I could design.
I feel like with the way that this is designed, though, I feel like adding threads to the inside of this would be not that hard compared to some of the rest of this.
You would probably have to find some actual mason jar threads online because I feel like it's not a standard thread profile. So like if they designed that in Fusion 360, they wouldn't just be able to use the standard thread tool. Threads,
Let's see what you mean.
Threads suck to measure, and that's one of those things that now there's an idea. James said to glue a ring in.
I will say this, there's not enough room in there, but we could probably raise it up and glue the ring on top of it.
I mean, another possibility. Ooh. You know, with that though, you could also, obviously retrofitting the one that's sitting in front of us is the easiest, but it could be scaled up by X amount of percent in order to accommodate the ring being inserted, and just use like a really fast setting super glue.
We could mess with that. We're gonna do some experiments with that now, so thanks for that idea.
You know, another possibility would be to scale it down a touch and heat up the glass jar and cut your threads in yourself. There's some possibilities there. I think the model is fantastic. It's a really fun idea, and I love it because it's just such a cool thing. Like, I've always loved those countertop cereal dispensers that you see rich people in movies have, or like at the continental breakfast at a hotel. They always have those things that look like they're from like Sharper Image with cereal in it. And this kind of reminds me of that, but it's slightly more whimsical. Be careful heating a glass jar. You make a good point.
I'd probably just take the heat gun to the inside of this.
Yeah.
And then screw the glass jar down into it.
Yeah, that's fair. I didn't say I had the right solution. I was just offering a solution.
Honestly, if you were using the heat gun, I don't think we'd get into dangerous territory with the glass jar to get it hot enough to cut threads into
Isn't
PLA.
part of canning a mason jar heating? Yeah, I thought you heated those to create a like a vapor seal because it creates a vacuum once they cool.
Plus, your chamber is pressurized. Typically anywhere from 5 to 15 psi.
Did your mom do canning?
Yep.
Okay. My grandma used to. I just don't know anything about it. This is...
Yeah, we used to can homemade salsa. That was made from ingredients that we grew in a garden.
That's amazing.
It was pretty good. I kind of miss it.
Ooh. Now I want chips and salsa. Thanks for that.
Gas station over here sells chips and salsa.
Yeah, I've already gone out to... No, I've gone to the store enough today. You take a torch... I wasn't thinking about taking a torch to the rim. I was thinking more heat gun situation. You guys are presenting some sound arguments, however. In my brain, I feel like the easiest solution is to scale it up a touch and glue a ring into it. It feels like the easiest thing.
It also feels like probably the safest.
It also feels like it'll give us more jelly beans per turn.
He's right, you know.
And I'm all about that. Thank you for ordering the tumbler.
Who ordered the tumbler?
Who do you think? The person who wanted it added. How about that? New merch designs on the fly. I genuinely love the merch company that we're working with. Their stuff is so easy to do. Because now that we have that one up, now we can use all of the other logos and stuff for a bunch of other tumblers. Safety glasses? Safety squints? Should I get a shirt? Well, Calyx, that's entirely up to you, buddy.
They're comfy shirts.
They're thick cotton, so they're soft, but like kind of durable. I quite enjoy them. Deanna. Okay, I thought you told me it was Dina. So we were saying it right. So I misinterpreted what you said earlier then. So it is Deanna. So we have been right all along.
Look at us go. High five.
I feel much better. This has been a struggle for me today. And I want you to know that things like this genuinely are the kind of things that make me feel bad. So, I can't tell you that you should get a shirt because I don't want to pressure anybody into buying stuff from us.
You should get a shirt. They're comfy and they're dope. I'll do it.
They are comfortable. I'm going to have to order a hat.
I was going to say something earlier about that. I wish that I had ordered a hat.
Me too.
Did you say we get a discount on the merch store?
Yes.
I'm going to need you to show me how to do that because there are some things I would like to order from the merch store.
What shirt is your guys' favorite? I personally like the logo shirt. I think the Level Your Bed is a really funny one.
Yeah, Level Your Bed is funny.
I put a lot of work into that one. And what's cool about it in my mind is that nobody outside of 3D printing is going to get it. People are just going to say, why the hell is there a level and a bed on your shirt? What do those two things have to do with anything? Yeah, the Level Your Bed is fun. And I do think that the print quality on these is really nice. Like, I'm super happy with it. I've had some of those heat press shirts before that the material started cracking pretty well immediately after the first wear. But this is pretty thick and is on there really well. I'm pretty happy with these.
I have a shirt that I bought. I've got a couple shirts that I bought more than 5 years ago that still have printing on them. I also have a shirt that I bought less than 2 years ago that last summer was a black t-shirt. It wasn't a black t-shirt when I bought it. It was, from my neck to my waist and all the way across the chest. It was a graphic tee. It's a black t-shirt now.
Yeah, it doesn't even have like white markings left on it.
Yeah, it looks like a generic black t-shirt now. These do not feel like they're going to do that. It's one of those things only time will tell if we are right.
Being said, the way that the logos are designed and the font that I used, especially on that one, like I didn't design the logo, I paid for the logo design. But the font that I use as my generic font for everything, those are really thick. And that shirt that you had, there were a lot of really thin parts. There were some like really small sections. So that could be a contributing factor. It was kind of a bummer too, because that was YouTuber merch you bought.
It was YouTuber merch. It was a cool shirt too.
Yeah, and
I'm really annoyed about it because it was a cool shirt.
Yeah, and if we have issues with the print quality or anything on our stuff. As much as I enjoy the ease of use for me on being able to utilize this service, I have no objection to switching providers. I don't have any loyalty. I just want... My whole thing with merch and products from content creators is I really enjoy when I can purchase something from a content creator. That's why I bought the LTT screwdriver first. That's why I bought my LTT water bottle, is because I get to support a channel that I get a lot of value out of personally, and I get a product in exchange. It's really cool in my mind to be able to do that stuff. I enjoy that exchange. Like, recently, because we're allowed to wear sneakers to work now, as long as they're nice, I have accumulated several pairs of Jordan 1s. And I just recently discovered that Marquez Brownlee, aka MKBHD, he has a collaboration with a sneaker company. And I'm absolutely going to buy those for two reasons. One, I really like the shoe. Did I show those to you? Or were we like on Discord when I was talking about them?
I don't remember.
They're water resistant and supposed to be super breathable. They're matte black. And they also have reflective strips on them.
I will say I'm not at all surprised that Marquez has
matte black shoes.
Well, I was just going to say deal with a sneaker company.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure he's got on his main desk in his office, he has a pair, or at least a single sneaker on display on the desk.
Might be a Kobe. He was a big Kobe Bryant fan. He actually met Kobe. I think they did a video together.
It's a dope looking sneaker.
Yeah. So he has those, and I'm definitely going to buy those because, well, I've kind of gotten into shoes lately. And also, that's another functional thing, especially when I can buy something that's a functional product to support a content creator. Love it. Makes me super happy. James says he has the Calyx placed an order too. You guys are
awesome.
Calyx went with the level your bed shirt. Fun fact, guys, I can see everything that everybody orders. That's awesome. Thanks, guys. Really appreciate the support. Yeah, I'm super stoked. Calyx, you'll have to bring your cup to the bowling alley because I'm really curious to see the print quality on it. If it's anything like Beau's coffee mug. We'll grab the phone cam.
Maybe don't grab the phone cam. Is this actually clean? I just went and grabbed this off the counter. I don't know if it's clean or not.
It's a user. Now this might be a job for changing the camera angle because that's kind of dark. We'll see. Which one is fun? Yeah, that's good enough. Yeah, check this thing out, guys. If you're right-handed, you get to see the logo while you drink. If you're left-handed like me, you get to show off to everybody else in the world. I didn't do that on purpose, but I guess it works out pretty well.
Maybe. I don't understand why it couldn't be on both sides.
I didn't design it that way?
Oh.
I could probably make it be on both sides.
You probably should, because I have another coffee mug that has a logo on it, and it is on both sides.
Oh. Well, okay then.
I know you're cute, but if you think that's going to convince me to give you more jelly beans, you're wrong.
He is a monster.
And if you think it means I'm going to let you on the table, you're also wrong. Yeah, you're also wrong about that.
It makes me wonder if he stands on the table when nobody else is here.
Diesel, go somewhere.
Check your E-steps. Ooh, how would we do that? After the last stream, Builder's Mark had a suggestion for and it was it actually lined up with something that Beau and I had talked about a few times, which was a just brim it out shirt, because I didn't realize that I develop catchphrases as time goes on and say the same things over and over and over again. And anytime that he asks me if a print needs a brim, my response is, when in doubt, brim it out. And apparently we said that a few times in the last stream, so I talked with Builder's Mark, and he suggested a shirt. I just don't know how to execute on that. E-steps could be kind of cool. Wonder if I could do like a cartoon letter E walking down the street. This channel needs to hurry up and blow up, man, so that way I can pay a graphic designer.
I was just going to say, this sounds like a job for a graphic designer, but for the when in doubt, brim it out, you could do like 3D letters, and when in doubt could be regular, and then brim it out could look like it has a brim on it. Again, to make that come across on a shirt, you would probably need an actual like graphic designer.
Yeah, why don't we have a graphic design friend? We need a lawyer friend. Nathan needs a doctor friend.
I was just gonna say, I feel like as a friend group, with some of the things we do, we need a doctor friend more than we need a lawyer friend. Because we do dangerous stuff a lot.
Knife toss?
I would never.
Yeah. I would be honored if you want to design a light box. I would genuinely be honored if you wanted to take that upon yourself, and we will print it and make it and show it off.
Design what now?
Deanna wants to make a light box. Kind of like your star. But like with the channel logo stuff.
Oh, that'd be dope.
Yeah. Yeah, I would be honored if you... I would be absolutely honored.
You're so awesome.
Yeah, I definitely... Gosh, we definitely need... Yeah, I should probably outsource that one to Fiverr. So when I had the channel logo made, it was like $80. But that came with unlimited revisions and also gave me full ownership of the artwork, which that's something really important. If you guys are doing any kind of work with something like Fiverr or any of those other like gig work sites, and you want to retain full ownership of the artwork, you need to make sure that the artist that you're hiring either has that as a part of their contract, or that you and they mutually agree to that. Because if you don't have exclusive ownership of that artwork, they can revoke your rights to use the art they designed for you. So that was why I chose, and I wish I remembered who it was so I could drop a link, because they honestly did really good work in a short amount of time.
Yeah, that happened quickly.
Yeah. I did not enjoy my experience with paying for thumbnails nearly as much as the logo. Jonathan recommended I hire someone to do thumbnails to try to help and get an idea of good thumbnails. And I agree, they looked cool, but my experience was not nearly as good as the logo was. But make sure when you guys are paying for gig work stuff, you work out with the artist who owns the rights to the artwork. I will definitely. Do you want a full color or a black and white? Does that matter for you at all? Tell you what, I will send you a few options. There you go. There are a couple of, I imagine all black is probably going to be better because it'll be based off what we print. There's a couple of transparent background PNGs. James, have a good night, man. Thanks for coming and hanging out. Thanks for debating jelly beans with us.
Debating jelly beans.
He thinks jelly bellies are the best.
We get in. I was simply making the point. We get into some weird topics of discussion on these streams.
On a 3D printing show?
Yeah, on a 3D printing channel live stream.
Hey, I'm having fun. Being said, we haven't checked in on this in a while.
I did. It was still at 23% when I looked.
I didn't turn it off. It's at 24%, which is impressive. I feel like this is going to be a solid dehydrator.
I mean, here's the thing. It's not really about keeping the humidity level in the thing itself. It's about drying out the filament, especially with PLA. It's just about drying out the filament to get it ready to print with.
And if you were really concerned about keeping it dry in there, chuck a desiccant pack in the middle of the spool. Because that will take out...
Probably not while you're running this. Unless they're the reusable kind that are safe to be heated up, but I don't think all of those are.
Yeah, I would say, because some of them are cool to bake in the oven to reactivate.
Yeah.
Basically, it just takes the moisture out of them. I mean, there's still
Actually, if you had some reusable ones, this would be ideal conditions for it. Because you would be reactivating it when you throw it in here. And then it would just keep your filament dry for a really long time.
Yeah. Be kind of cool to... It'd be kind of cool to, like, do some sort of, like, spool-esque carousel design that you print out of a high-temp material.
To go in the middle of the spool? Or to go in there?
To go inside of here to dehydrate your desiccant packs. Like a... just like a holder to... Yeah, that'd be really cool. Ideas.
You gotta get the color change desiccant.
So you can tell that it's done?
Mm-hmm.
Yes. Yes. Man. We've got some good ideas. We've had some good debates. We've eaten a lot of jelly beans.
I blame you for this.
I'm the one that put them in the jar. That was mostly because they were here when I was here. And the jar was empty. Yeah, I mean, we're yet to actually, like, full-blown test this thing. And I'm really grateful that FixDry sent it over. When the show's over, I will have a link to this in the description. I cannot see any situation in which this won't be a great dehydrator. A dehydrator only has to be simple. It only needs to get warm and exhaust some air and let you print from it. And this definitely got warm. There was definitely some airflow exchange happening. And it did drop the temperature really quickly.
One thing that I think is nice is you can kind of, once you've had something drying for a while, crank the temperature down a little bit lower if you want to print from it to try to keep it dry.
Yeah, absolutely.
Because, like, I know, like, polycarbonate nylon, they say that you should only print those out of a dryer. And it says to dry it at 70, but then, like, once you've had it drying for, like, 4 hours or whatever, you crank it way down just to keep it dry in there.
Let's see. Nylon, they say that you should dry nylon for more than 12 hours. That is definitely not a spur-of-the-moment decision that you're making to print something in nylon.
No, unless you have an unopened spool with a desiccant pack in.
You have to dry it immediately upon opening. Every recommendation I've ever seen for nylon is dry immediately before you even start your first print.
It is so hygroscopic.
Interesting.
Yeah. Yeah.
Seems terrible.
I still want to do something with it. What exactly, I still don't know. I cannot think of anything that I would want to make that I would need nylon for yet. I've never needed to print bushings. I can think of... I feel like a shock absorber or something that's going to get hot for a GoPro, because it's also kind of flexible. I feel like it... But then again, that would only be if you were like... if you didn't have another fixture point you could use.
I'm gonna turn the star off now.
I'm sure that's okay. That's really cool with lights in it. That is a fun thing that you found to make.
Yes.
You find... And actually, you and Nathan are both so much better at printing things than I am. And by that I mean, I will just scroll endlessly through printables and Maker World to try to find just the right thing to make. And then as a result, get print block and not make anything. It seems like you guys are a lot better at just, hey, that's cool, I'm gonna make that now.
Well, it helps when you do bulk orders from new makers and just have 10 spools of filament laying around.
Yeah.
And then, you know, go buy an AMS and you've just got 4 spools of filament loaded into an AMS.
It's the most convenient thing in the world with the AMS enabled printer to just pick a filament for your model without having to physically get up and go to the printer.
Yes.
I really need to do a better job of keeping the A1 Mini fully loaded at all times. Because actually, I just pulled filament off of that because I was printing your shelf brackets. And they were not going to fit on the little guys, so I had to print them on the P1S. Which was really annoying because I had black, white, and gray installed on the A1 Mini. Being said, those shelf brackets are freaking sweet, man.
I am for certain doing a couple spools of that new Maker's White the next time we do an order.
Dude, it's so good.
It's such a good white.
It is bright. Guys, I kind of think that's the show for the night. I don't really have anything else to talk about. We don't have any great debates planned or anything. It's been a long week. So neither of us have really made a whole lot to talk about. We've actually just been mostly talking about stuff that we want to do for upcoming videos. I don't want to give too much away other than I'm really excited for the shelf video. But it's just been one of those weeks where unfortunately making cool stuff has been on the back burner. What did you learn? I would love to know. Before we go, I've got to know. Deanna, what did you learn this week? I don't think I learned anything exciting this week.
Was it that we're bad at nameology?
Nameology, is that the science of pronouncing names?
No, that's from a movie.
What movie?
The Boondock Saints.
Been a while. You just got done. How did you organize your filament? Alphabetically or by color?
Numerically. Are you mad because I'm technically not wrong?
Because organizing by color, you can organize them numerically?
Yes.
Yeah. If you're printing small things, The print bed fits into a gallon-sized Ziploc bag so you don't lose parts. How did you discover that?
Huh.
I'm bewildered. That thought has never in a million years crossed my mind.
Same.
Organizing by company and adding filament clips. How many filament companies do you have on hand?
37.
That's a lot and very specific. It's definitely more than... Yeah, it's more than I have brands at home. I definitely have more than 37 spools at home. A lot of them are partials. It was an I wonder moment. You know, that's the thing about Americans is if it's not meant to fit, then it shouldn't fit.
Yeah, if I'm not supposed to put a 10-inch saw blade on my angle grinder, I shouldn't be able to.
Bamboo, Polymaker, New Maker, Sunlu, and something I gave you. What would I have given him? I don't know. I accumulate so much random filament that I'll buy a spool for a random project or something. It's crazy. Being said though, guys, I think that's about it for tonight. It's been a long, kind of tiring week. I appreciate you stopping to hang out and chill.
We're to try to come up with an actual topic for next week's stream.
We had a topic.
That's not a topic. That's an unboxing.
Yeah, but we've talked about it several times.
I meant like a debate topic.
It'd be really fun if we could find some sort of 3D printing themed debate where we could get heated and need a moderator.
We have never had a debate in our lives between the two of us where we got heated and needed a moderator. And we've debated religion, politics. We have never gotten heated in a debate. The problem is we mostly agree on too much stuff to get heated in a debate.
But for us, it's also the joy of having a debate with somebody who's not going to yell back. Because we're willing to take turns and have the conversation. Alex, I have genuinely no clue. True Red. I genuinely have no clue what that is. I do not for the life of me remember what brand that is, dude. But yes, y'all have a wonderful evening. Have a great and safe weekend. And if you like it,